Okay, so now can you please read the question and tell me what do you think about the answer? I understand that maybe the answer is not perfect, but again, just no need to answer anything perfect now. Just let me know what can you remember. So if you look at the question number one, so tell me, give an example of a high level language. Can you still recall anything about high level language and low level language?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Okay, so good. Tell me what. Give me an example of a high level language.
High level language would be like Python, C# or JavaScript or
Okay.
Java.
Yes. Okay. Perfect answer. Okay. What about the low level language?
Assembly language,
Okay.
the programming that the computer uses.
Okay. What else? What else that have ones and zeros?
Binary.
Okay, that's close, but we call it machine code. Okay, we call it machine code. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, okay. So what is the usage of the machine code?
It is used to translate the code that's a programmer would use to the computer so that it can understand it.
Okay, I would say, okay, the language that the computer or the hardware understand is the machine code, the ones and zeros. It only understands that. When you go through the theories of the hardware, you will know that it is the inner circuits of the computer is only called something called logic gates, or even transistors if they go into much details. So these transistors only understand ones or zeros. Okay, so in short, the hardware is only able to understand machine code, which is ones and zeros. And what we no, let me. So that is the answer of that specific question. So what is the name of the software that can convert a high level language to a machine code?
I think it's called the compiler.
Yes, yes, it's true. We can have compiler. We have also interpreter. Both
Yeah,
can
so
convert a high level language to a machine code. Yes, it's correct. Okay, so let me see here. So I think you need to. I think I will leave that part for you. I don't want to uh, to do that in the class. You need to have a look here, and you need to solve that. Either you can solve it inside your. So maybe you have to create an account on the same website, and then you are able to create solution files on your account, and that's one possibility. Second possibility is you try to write the code here, but just be aware that all the files actually. So at the moment you can see the file is actually called class 2 exercise. So if you want to run, you need to try the code here. So if you try it here and it works, you can still copy it to here, because if you run, it's only going to execute whatever code that you put under the main.py. Is that clear? Tojo, can you follow with me?
yes.
Okay, so can you tell me, please, just one last thing. What is the real life usage of a database?
It could be used to I mean in hospitals maybe for different knowing who's coming in and what their health condition is.
Yes, it's correct. Can you still remember? Okay, if we use it with the students, what would be the usage?
A student's name, last name, maybe like grades, the exams.
Perfect,
To
perfect,
record.
perfect. So I would say you are a guy who have a good memory. You remind me of my son. Okay. So but please I know that it is not so easy, that I also find it difficult this way, that you go through the whole session again in videos. But even if you do it with a high speed, it means that you go to the video, you set the speed to 1.5 or even 2, okay? And so and it's because we are doing it in a slow motion. When we are explaining, I'm talking slowly, and there is slow responses everywhere. So of course it's too boring to re-listen to the session again. But again, if you do it with a high speed, okay, so you can take the 1.5 hour in just maybe I believe maybe in half of the time, maybe 45 minutes or 40 minutes, okay? So just a reminder for yourself. But so far it's okay. But I worry. But when the time we go into deep details, then things are not so clear. But for the moment, it's perfect. I will leave the exercise for you. But remember, this time you will have 2 exercises: the previous session exercise and the current session exercise. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
Okay, so next, so I will consider that we're still trying to adjust and kill all the miscommunication, and I will not comment about anything here. But please, next session I need 2 exercises. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Is there a way for me to? Well, how can I show it to you? The answers.
You mean you mean no? I still didn't get you. So can you please repeat your question, please?
How can I show you the answers to the questions in the exercise?
You can write it. You can write them here. This is one possibility. So you can just answer.
Okay.
So actually, this is a place for a coding for a Python. I mean, that file is specifically for Python coding. You can write any text, but you can use a comment. So the comment, okay. Can you notice here, please? Can you notice this kind of how to say, kind of commas that I use before the code, before these lines. I start from line 38 until line 46. So I use
Yes.
these 3 commas. Actually, this is the start of a comment that have multiple lines. Okay. So you can start a comment like that. You can surround your answer like that. So if you do this kind of, sorry, oops. So if you do this kind of commas, and then you put like that, you say an answer, then you can write whatever you want. If it is not a code, because that is just typically a serious question. Okay.
Okay.
If it is a code, you can just write the code. For example, x equal 10, y, z equal 1, and then maybe y equal z plus 1 or plus 1, like that. So that is fine if it is a coding. But again, as I told you, that code will not run if you try to test it here. So you have to take the code, test it here in main. Okay, print y, for example. Okay, and run like that. So is that clear to you? So now you see.
Yes.
Okay, so here you can test, because it will only get the code here. Later I will show you, actually you're able to use so if we build other parts of the code, we are able even to link it here using the import. There is some import command that I can show you, that we are able to link any code that we write in other files here. We can link it to main, and we can use it inside main. But this is not our target at the moment. We don't reach that stage yet. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and also I would not do that now for the class exercise, because some part of what you are writing here is just only text I mean, just normal text. Not all of it is coding. Okay, and you will also put a few answers for a few questions, and maybe the name of the variables will mix together. Okay, just one thing. Just let me explain one thing to you. So, do you understand well that when you so how many variables we have here?
3. Yeah, 3 variables.
Okay, 3 variables. That's exactly perfect. So if I say str equal I would say the value of y equals, okay, and then I put here str, and maybe I put plus y here. Let me see if it accepts that. So if I run, oh, it doesn't. He doesn't like it. So what should we do here?
Y needs to be string.
So what function should we use?
str y.
Like that?
Yes.
Okay, so he accepted. Okay, so but if we copy that code and we put it here directly, do we still need to use stry? Jojo?
No. No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay, so we should we put it this way?
Yes.
Okay, let's try to run. Okay, can you tell me why he doesn't accept it?
It says it still needs to be a string here as well.
So should we use plus inside the print command?
No, a comma.
And that's it. Okay. Okay, so I mean, he do it for us inside the print. Okay, I think it's clear. But the reason that I actually started coding here now is not actually for. So I would say just be aware that all these variables we call them a kind of local variables. Okay, they are local to that current program. Okay, and if you define here, if you come here and you define here x equal 100, okay, and then you start linking that file to that will cause some problems. So I mean, if every time you use an x code everywhere in differentiation of a large program, that's not a good practice. Okay, so we are doing it here fast. We are doing it here fast, yes, but we should not do that. We should give a meaningful variable names, so that we don't end up with maybe 50 lines of code with x and y's and z1 and z2 and str1 and str2. Is that clear? This will cause a bug in your code, and maybe you will take some time to be able to fix that. This is not in the current exam. If you go with the AS level and A level, possibly, maybe, yes, you will face that. Okay, or even in your life if you proceed with a computer programming. Okay, clear, good. Let us go to the session here as slides. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Okay, certain parts we already done here. So even in the slides, every class I will link for you the slides. I understand the slides alone, you cannot depend on them. Do you have a book that you follow up with? So
yes,
Toju,
I do.
I'm sorry, we have to close and we have to enter again because
Okay.
there was some delays this time. Okay.
Okay.